keeps turning, and you're trying to keep up.
The fight against coronavirus has the Oxford...
But there's so much noise drowning out the news. Talking heads, broadcast messages, press releases. They're telling you their side, but you just want the facts. That's why you come to me. I give you the statistics without spin. Out of 116 million working age Nigerians, 35.5 million are employed full-time. That's 30%. I give you the context. I give you the history. I fight fake news with facts.
Kayode. No, Kayode, I will let you talk. Kayode, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
That's why more and more Lagosians are tuning in.
500,000 Lagosians.
720,000.
970,000.
Over 1 million Lagosians, they know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
All those are all to going beyond the headlines and focusing on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. First hard fact of the day: Lagos, the governorship and state assembly elections are in 2 days' time. Come out and vote, oh Lagos. If INEC staff at your polling unit start frustrating you like last time, don't let that stop you this time. That frustration is what should push you to go out again on Saturday, because this time you are wiser. This time you have a better idea of what could go wrong. I'm not saying it will go wrong. I'm saying it could go wrong. But if it decides to go wrong, you now know what to expect. You now know what to do. If INEC staff decide to not come on time for their work, you know that before you get to that polling unit, you should charge your phone overnight, come with power bank, come with food, organize with your polling unit members and your friends and your family members to hire chair, hire canopy so that you are comfortable, you're sitting down, you know. If INEC staff at your unit are not on time, you can call us on Nigeria Info. And the same way Jimmy Disu was on air on that Saturday on the 25th and helping people to call their different electoral officers. That's how we'll help you and do it again. And don't be afraid of violence, because the larger the crowd of law-abiding voters at a unit, the harder it is for thugs to disrupt that unit. Because last, thugs are cowardly. They're a bunch of cowards. They fear crowd. So if you come out in your numbers and you stay there, thugs no fit do shishi. They will come, they will see crowd. When they shout, hey, you shout, hey, they too, they will run away. You know, stand your ground legally, peacefully. They cannot take your mandate from you. And of course, report immediately. What I loved about the 25th was that we got lots of reports of people who were going to go and look for police, go and look for army to come and quell the situation. So do that as well. Make sure you have the police officers, who are available, pick up some of these thugs and arrest them. The police have arrested 300 people nationwide for electoral violence, and make sure you call us. Tell us what you're facing. We're going to escalate it to the relevant authorities. Now, when you're done voting, INEC staff might start telling you, oh, we cannot upload. Don't get frustrated. For Kombale. You now know that if Beavers is not uploading, INEC official has to use send offline option. And as they use send offline option, once they get to where they have network that can upload, you check IREF sharp. Madam, Oga, it has not entered IREF. What are you doing, sir? What are you doing, ma? Now we know what to do. So the idea is to follow them bumper to bumper. Before we did gentleman. We're like, oh, INEC, you're gentlemanly. We trust you. We believe you. We know you will do your job. But sometimes the spirit is willing, but the body is weak. So what you now to do is now to be extra vigilant so that they will not carry handicap a second time. You understand what I'm saying? So if you are finished voting and they say you're not uploading, say, don't worry. I heard on Nigerian Food that you can send offline. Oh yeah, send it offline. And then also make sure that they have the code for both Guba and assembly portals. Now, I know that code thing, it might be nonsense or it might be sense. Either way, they shall say code that is the problem. Make sure they have the code before they start the voting. If they say it's not code that is the issue, no problem, you start your voting. If they say, oh, we need code from supervisor, make sure they have the code before voting starts. All right? The power is yours. Go and exercise that power peacefully on Saturday. Nobody feel cow you. Now you get Nigeria. You understand? You're a Nigerian, you're a full citizen of this country, and one of your contracts as a Nigerian is to be able to vote on election day. It is a right that has been bestowed upon you by way of being a human being. As long as you're a human being and you're of legal age, you have a right to vote. It is even your duty to vote. In some countries, it's illegal to not even vote. So don't let anybody cow you, okay? Go and exercise your power. And if you witness a story or a news event that you want Lagos to know about while you're there, call us on 014657175. That's the number for our newsroom. 014657175. And thank you for listening to Hard Facts today. I've got a great show for you, starting with the big three. Let's talk about Governor Sanwo-Olu telling Lagosians to snap out of their feelings about the Lekki Massacre. He said that yesterday here on Nigeria Info during the morning crossfire. Then let's talk about Funsho Doherty saying that Lagos needs a governor that can stand up to a President Tinubu. And then let's talk about Badebo Road's Vival assuring voters about Oro Festival. At 4 o'clock, we're going to bring you Eyewitness. On the Big Hard Fact, we'll talk some more about the issues that will affect your vote on Saturday. On the step down today from 6:15, let's talk some more about political differences in marriage. At 7 o'clock, we'll have GRV join us on Nigeria Info. Well, on Twitter, to be honest. So he'll join us on Twitter. We'll air it on Nigeria Info. We'll have a conversation with GRV about why he wants to be governor in Lagos. Expect news, business, and sports at the top of the hour every hour. But let's get started with today's Big Three. Lagos, I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. And these are your hard facts.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three on Hard Facts
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Is the Lekki Massacre an event that Lagosians should snap out of? Should Lagos align with the center or be able to stand up to the center? Will Oro Festival affect areas where INEC shows up late? Those are the Big Three. Lagos, let's talk. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says that Lagosians still talking about the Lekki Massacre should snap out of it. That's our first story. Like I said, he spoke with Sheriff on the morning crossfire yesterday. We covered some of what he said on yesterday's Big Three. Today, let's listen to what he said when Sheriff asked him about the young Lagosians who are still unhappy with his standing of his handling of NSAS. The governor responded specifically to the events of October 20th at the toll gate, which we now know as the Lekki Massacre.
At the end of the day, what happened in October 20th happened, right? I did not create, the event or the military engagement there. And so the question around, which I find it very strange when people that are meant to be coming to, become governor of Lagos State are using words that are dividing us against things that should be, uniting us. And when you say who gave shooting and all of that, we need to be able to snap out of it and let's, build back better and understand that the lessons and the learning of that incident has made us a better, more resilient citizens, right? And I mentioned too that everybody that has come out, in any form to say that, there has been injured or injury, right? I have paid them. There've been compensation that have been given to all of the injured people that have come up.
The governor speaking there, Lagos. Let's unpack the governor's answers. First, he said that what happened, that he didn't create the situation that brought the army there. However, I will remind you that Governor Sanwo-Olu did order a curfew that day. First, at 11:49 a.m., the governor tweeted that the curfew would start by 4 p.m. Later that evening, the Lagos State Government handle tweeted that the curfew time, curfew start time, had been pushed back to 9 p.m. The Lekki Massacre occurred at after 6, with soldiers reportedly going to the toll gate to enforce the curfew. But clearly, the curfew had not started yet. So the question is, did the Lagos State Government communicate the change in the curfew time to the army and to the police? And then there's a second question. After the Lekki Massacre, did Governor Sanwo-Olu at any time point out that the protesters were not violating curfew at the time of the shooting, and that therefore the army had no business there? Then there's also the question of the lights. Remember, the street lights around the toll gate all went off minutes before the massacre. Has the governor given an explanation for how government-run street lights went off right at that critical moment? And then, of course, there's the testimony from the Nigerian army at the Lagos State Government Panel of Inquiry. The army testified on the record and under oath that it was the governor who requested for them to go to the toll gate. Now, the governor correctly points out that under the law, he cannot order the army to do anything. But the army is not alleging that the governor gave them the order or gave them an order. The army is alleging that the governor requested for them to go and they granted his request. Let me be specific here. We heard this at the panel set up by the Lagos State Government from Brigadier General Ahmed Taiwo, the commander of the 81 Military Intelligence Brigade. And he said Governor Sanwo-Olu specifically called the Chief of Army Staff and the General Officer Commanding of 81 Division. In fact, you know what? Let me give you Brigadier Taiwo's exact words. Here are his exact words. Quote, he called the Chief of Army Staff and the GOC 81 Division and asked for intervention because the police had been overrun. End quote. Has the governor come out to refute this claim from the army? And if the claim is true and the governor made that request, should the governor had made that request, given that the peaceful protesters had not overrun any police officers and he had postponed the start of the curfew until 9 p.m. And so the protesters at after 6 were not breaking any laws. The governor says that Lagosians should snap out of it and build back better. Do you think this was the right note to strike? According to the state government's own panel of inquiry, at least 9 Lagosians were murdered at the toll gate and dozens were injured. We also have reports of people who are missing. Now, as you know, Governor Sanwo-Olu rejected that report. But if Lagosians believe that report, and if you have Lagosians who lost friends, who lost family, who lost comrades there, who believe justice has not been done, should they be told to snap out of it? And has their inability to snap out of it actually affected Lagos negatively in any way? Have Lagosians who haven't snapped out of it done anything bad to Lagos? Yesterday we talked about how during the 1-year anniversary, it was the police and Neighborhood Watch who attacked the mourners at the toll gate while they were protesting peacefully. Do you believe the Lagos State Government has done the necessary things to help Lagosians move on from the Lekki Massacre? Has the state government properly acknowledged what happened? Because remember that when Governor Sanwo-Olu addressed Lagos the next morning after October 20th, 2020, he said only a couple of people died, and it was from blunt force trauma, not bullets. You know? Should the governor have come out after that with updated information and an acknowledgement that yes, more people died and they died from gunfire? The governor said he compensated people who have come forward to say that they were injured at the toll gate. Now, notice two things, Lagos. First, notice that he only talked about the injured, not the dead. Should he acknowledge the dead and also compensate their families? Second, if you go back to his interview with Arise earlier this month, he said he compensated these people privately. Is private compensation without public acknowledgement of the massacre good enough? Has the state government properly taken steps to prosecute those responsible for the massacre? Now, some people will say to me, now, but Sandra, soldiers work for the federal government. They don't work for the state. And you're right. That's fine. Has the state government made a concrete demand or request for the federal government to ask the army to court-martial whoever was responsible? Are these things necessary before telling people to snap out of it? Or is the governor correct? Has it been long enough? It has been 2 years after all. Has it been long enough? Has it been long enough and people should just move on? Finally, the governor said that the learnings from the Lekki Massacre have made us stronger and better. Do you agree, Lagos? Would you say that the Lagos state government has learned the right lessons from the Lekki Massacre? What are those lessons? 0700993 That's for men. Women call us on 014657190. We've got WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. 080-959-75805. That's for WhatsApp. We have Facebook where we're streaming as well. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. Tweet at us at Nigeria Info FM on Twitter. Women only 014657190. Women only 014657190. Men only 0700-993-993. Hello.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. What's your name?
How are you today?
I'm okay.
Sandra.
I'm all right.
He's Happiness from Ikorodu.
Welcome, Happiness. Talk to me.
Sandra, I did not agree with him in any way at all. I'm even more pained. Why will you say that I did not create the event that happened that day? What kind of, is that how to talk? That's not how I should be talking. That's arrogance. That's not how I should be talking. She should not be addressing us like that. We know that, but he talk, he say it like that. Don't say it that way. Sandra, enjoy your day, Jerry.
All right. You should not say it that way, Happiness says. 99.3, hello. Thanks for calling us.
Hello.
How are you doing? What's your name, sir?
Oh, how are you? My name is Sam. Sandra, my name is Sam. You are doing a very great job. Sam from away.
Sam, talk to me. Welcome.
Oh, how are you? I'd like a guardian this way. He said that conscience is an open wound. Only truth that we heal it. No matter how long they prolong this, it may take 4, 5, 10 years. Maybe go after the administration. What they did at the open, we cannot just move forward like that. The killings, even the shooting itself, the trauma that happened to Nigerian youth, we can never forget. They may push it in order to win their election, but we have not gone. We have not. The youth have not, and I don't think that 2 governments, 3 governments can solve this one. After their tenure, if they should allow another government to win Lagos State, and the truth will come out. But as long as they are in power, we will not see the truth. That is what I.
That's what you have to say. Thank you, Sam from Away, for calling. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I need to bring back what Governor Sanwo said yesterday during the interview with Sheriff yesterday. You know, I listened, you know, with content. It was, everything he said was just all about, when you garnish something, to make it look like it was, it is so nice on the outside. Everything he said, I just didn't like it. Okay. And the questions Sheriff put across to him, it was not deep enough. Okay. It was not deep. I think, look at all the three things you just outlined. These are the things that are going through the minds of individuals in Lagos. How can you tell us to just forget it like that? Do you know every day the thing just flashes back? Although I wasn't there, but it just flashes back. It's not something one can just walk away, just look away. No, it's not. It's not. I'm so disappointed, in that interview yesterday. And he keep repeating it that, he didn't order, he didn't. No, look, I don't know what to say, but in all of this, I still won't vote for him. That's just the truth.
All right, thank you very much for calling. We'll take a break. When we come back, I'll take more of your thoughts on our first story, and I'll also talk to you about another candidate who wants to be governor here in Lagos, Funsho Doherty. He says Lagos needs a governor that can stand up to the federal government and Bola Tinubu.
Babájídé Olúṣọlá Sanwó-Olú ó ti dé nìyẹn.
Babájídé Olúṣọlá Sanwó-Olú fún gómìnà àti Ọbáfẹ́mi Kadri Hamzat fún igbákejì gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Greater Lagos rising. APC progress.
With three spectacular debaters, Group C of the I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions could be a fight to the finish. Emmanuel Nadi has only ever lost once to Tanvita Kaushik. She's here to prove that she can beat anyone on a good day. Nicholas Musokoya barely missed the August 2022 final, but gave us fireworks along the way. He would have met Fabian Chibundo in that final, but now they will lock horns at the Tournament of Champions. Fabian, the only boy champion, must fend off these two challengers if he wants to be champion of champions. This March is the I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions on 99.3 Nigeria Info and Wazobia Max TV.
Infrastructure revolution wey dey shele, completed roads and big projects everywhere for Agege, Ijede for Ikorodu, Alimosho, Oniru. The Lagos Blue Line don dey take shape. Lagos Red Line don dey arrange. High-speed metro trains that one go soon land. Even Lag Ferry now don dey run for waterways with plenty ferry. 500 first and last mile bus dem don enter road already. The Imota rice mill don full ground gidigba. 1,000 farmers and small businesses dey gbadun the Lagos Appeals project. Ilera Eko dey provide ogbonge health insurance. Completed housing boku for Igondo, Igbogo, Ikori, Ibeshe, Shangotedo, entertainment and tourism, plus including security and education. Abeg, waiting again. Make we vote for Babájídé Olúṣọlá Sanwó-Olú as governor and Ọbáfẹ́mi Kadri Hamzat as the deputy governor of Lagos State.
Greater Lagos rising. APC progress.
Group D of the I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions promises fierce battles between three exciting debaters. Olaloye Toluwalashe dazzled us last May, but was stopped by Hamid Olarawaju. If he wants to settle that score, he'll need to emerge from this group. But will Stephanie Amen let him? The August runner-up is here to prove she could have won it all. But to be the girl, she has to beat the girl. Esther Bewaji's fans will love that Group D debates on Thursdays because they say Thursdays are for legends. She smashed scoring records on her cruise to the championship in May, and all that is left between her and the three other champions are the two challengers in this group. This March, it's the I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions on 99.3 Nigeria Info FM and Wazobia Max TV.
Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Ọbáfẹ́mi Hamzat mi o, láyé yín Èkó sanwó o, Èkó yọ bí ọjọ́, ètò ìlera Èkó láyé Sanwó-Olu o, rélùwé ń bọ̀ láyé Sanwó-Olu o, ètò ẹ̀kọ́ tó yè kooro Sanwó-Olu o, wá wo Blackberry pẹ̀lú Black Knight, mo ti tán síbẹ̀ o, afẹ́ kó wọlé ẹ̀kan sí i, mo ṣe wípé mẹ́rin mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Babajide mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Babajide Sanwó-Olu Èkó. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. 4+4. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Ètò ààbò tó yè kooro Sanwó-Olu o. Oníṣòwò ń lérè ọjà aláboyún bí wẹ́rẹ́. Èkó ń yọ bí ọjọ́, àwa ni bàbá wọn. Ọ̀gá ni mástà, bàbá náà fádà. Sanwó ló lè ṣe ẹ jẹ́ kó wọlé ẹ̀kan sí i. Ni mo ṣe wípé mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Babajide mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Ìgbéga Èkó, ìtẹ̀síwájú Èkó. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Sanwó-Olu ló lè ṣe. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Gbogbo ọmọ Èkó, ìbò ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì. Sanwó-Olu lè ṣe. Ní 2023, ìbò ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì. Sanwó-Olu lè ṣe. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Sanwó-Olu lè ṣe. Babajide Sanwó-Olu ni. Sanwó-Olu lè ṣe. Sanwó ni ẹ dìbò fún 2023. Sanwó ni ẹ dìbò fún. Sanwó ni ẹ dìbò fún. Sanwó ni ẹ dìbò fún. Ní 2023, sanwó ni ẹ dìbò fún. Sanwó ni ẹ dìbò fún. Sanwó ọdún mẹ́jọ ló máa lò. Gbogbo ayé ló ti gbọ́. Ọdún mẹ́jọ ló máa lò. Gbogbo ayé ló ti gbọ́. Kò dìgbà tá a bá ń fa pósítà ya. Kò dìgbà tá a bá ń yàdá yọ̀bẹ̀ o. Ọdún mẹ́jọ ló máa lò. Gbogbo ayé ló ti gbọ́. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Babajide mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Ọmọ Sanwó-Olu mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Ìtẹ̀síwájú Èkó Sanwó-Olu mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Èkó yọ bí ọjọ́ mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ. Mẹ́rin ó di mẹ́jọ.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, Lagos. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Funsho Doherty says Lagos needs a governor that can stand up to the federal government and Bola Tinubu. That's our second story. 2 nights ago, I interviewed the ADC gubernatorial candidate. And in the past, he has had some very strong words about governance in Lagos, the role of Bola Tinubu in it. And I asked him about that. I asked him how he intends to work with Tinubu if both of them are sworn in on May 29th. Here's how that conversation went.
For sure, you've squarely blamed Bola Tinubu for what you believe is institutionalized lawlessness here in Lagos. INEC has declared Tinubu the president-elect. If you also win, and if your assessment of Tinubu is correct, how will you prevent his federal administration from countering your efforts to sanitize Lagos State?
I think that's a great question. First of all, I would not go so far as to say I blamed Bola Tinubu for institutionalized lawlessness. I would say that we have had a model of governance in Lagos, which he has been at the helm of since it's been the ruling party for 20 years. A number of ills, one of which is this idea of what I would call, disorder and chaos, and a situation where some of the agents of this chaos and protection of government, and to the extent that he's a force behind the ruling party, and many, if not most, if not all, recognize that. That the line of responsibility, goes straight to his jaw. But having said that, I think that this is why I think your question is a great one. Is it goes to the heart of who should govern Lagos, right? Because at the end of the day, when you think about Lagos, Lagos is a subnational government. We're in a federal republic, all right? And at the end of the day, you have a federal government, you have a state government, you have local governments, right? And it is important to understand that it's not in all instances that the interests of the federal government and the state government will be aligned. There will be times when state governments will need to assert their space in the governance of the people, and there's a time when the federal government will need to do so. And so there's sometimes a balance of power that needs to be struck there. So it is important that whoever is sitting in the seat of governor in Lagos is not someone who can be considered an agent, however you define that term, of the center. You need somebody who is a true representative of the people, who understands what that sacred trust represents, who understands the scope of his mandate and the authority associated therewith, and who is determined to exercise those powers, those authorities, those trusts faithfully for the benefit of the people, rather than operating as an adjunct or an appendage of a federal authority. And so I think that as people think about who should govern Lagos, this must be a very important consideration. Otherwise, I think the Lagosians are likely to suffer for it.
Funsho Doherty speaking there. He made a few points that I want to unpack, like I did with Governor Sanwo-Olu. He criticized the model of governance here in Lagos and blamed it for many of the problems, disorder and chaos that Lagosians face. He accused the government of protecting the agents of chaos that disturb Lagosians. And he suggests that this is all happening because of a vast political system with Bola Tinubu at the center as leader. So first of all, I want to know if you agree with Doherty's assessment and Doherty's opinion about governance in Lagos over the last 2 decades and the role that Bola Tinubu has played in it. After that, Doherty makes this point that Lagos needs a governor who can say no to the president and the federal government because, according to Doherty, state interests won't always align with federal interests. And so you need a governor whose primary loyalty is to the people and not to whoever is in Aso Rock. He's suggesting that if Governor Sanwo-Olu is re-elected and Tinubu becomes president, Sanwo-Olu will be acting on instructions from Abuja, even if those instructions go against the interests of Lagosians. That's Funsho Doherty's assessment. Do you agree? And where do you stand on the wider debate between those who say, oh, it's better to align with the center, and those who say, oh, it's better to be independent of the center? Where do you align? Where do you stand in that debate? I feel like this should be an I beg to differ topic. By the way, the Tournament of Champions starts next Monday, 4 p.m. Tanvita Kaushik will be debating Chiagozie Isidore Obonogu on Monday at 4 p.m. right here on your number one station for talk. But back to the debate. You know, you have some Nigerians, not I beg for now, just, you know, what I talked about earlier, align with the center, independent from center. Some Nigerians believe that states benefit more when the governor is from the same party as the president. They say it's easier for that state to get federal buy-in on projects where the federal government is needed. We heard this a lot in Lagos leading up to the 2015 elections, if you remember. APC told Lagosians that things would be better if Buhari were elected, because for the first time in the Fourth Republic, our governor would be from the same party as our president. They pointed to the Obasanjo years where he was fighting with, at that time, Governor Tinubu, and withheld local government allocations. They also accuse him of slowing projects down, like the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. So you have people who make those arguments, right? But you have those who disagree. They say that when your governor is from your president's party, the governor is forced to be loyal. And when he's loyal, he can't shout if the federal government is sidelining the state or pushing policies that hurt the state. Some argue that under Buhari, Lagos has not gotten everything that it could have gotten from the federal government, but that both Governors Ambode and Sanwo-Olu have not been able to shout or resist because they needed to be loyal to President Buhari. Which of these positions do you agree with? I've just given you the two sides of the argument. Is there a middle ground? Is there a way to align with the center while still standing up for the state? And if you think that there is a center, a middle ground, do you believe that Governor Sanwo-Olu will be able to strike that balance with a President Tinubu? And on the flip side, is there a way to be in opposition from the center but still get the center to work for the benefit of the state? And if so, do you think Funsho Doherty can pull that off? If you don't think he can, which of the other opposition candidates do you think can pull it off, if any? 0700-993-993-993. That's for men. Women, call me on 01465-7190. We've got WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Yes, you can still talk about our first story, or you can talk about this particular story here. 99.3. Hello.
Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
This is Rita.
Hi, Rita. Talk to me.
Sandra. I know what I'm talking about the first story you brought, Sandra. See, Sandra, you can't tell me that you make me injure now. My injury has not healed, and you're telling me to forget about it.
Okay.
When this thing happened about the answers, even the governor himself did not come out clearly. So just story about it happened, it did not happen. I send them, I did not send them. This one, and today here we are going to compensate them in a private way. They went there to shoot privately. And now you want to compensate the family. How do you know them privately to go and compensate them privately when it's supposed to be open? Let Nigerians know that, See, Sandra, we get out of this. If the governor himself did not come out clearly and explain to Nigeria, apologize to Nigeria. I don't know this arrogancy of you don't want to talk. I am a governor, so I have my rights. The white paper, did they really show us the white paper? After they gave them the white paper, they went back in and turned the paper to blue and red. Sandra, in fact, I'm tired. Okay. Thank you.
Richard, thanks for calling. Well, they did turn the paper to blue and red. They just rejected the findings at the Lagos NSAS panel that was set up by the Lagos state government. We've got Frank Azu joining us. Hi, Frank.
Hello, Sandra.
Welcome. Talk to me.
Yeah, so after 25th of last month, I gave up a lot on Nigerian politics. And I wrote one of my favorite OAP on social media. I said, I am tired. And she said, we cannot be tired. But I was really tired. Now, I want to react to your first story. Mr. Governor, he goes about trying to, do the damage control, telling us that he did not give the order. I have some very simple question. When that happened, was Lagos State declared the state of emergency? If no, then how come the military would do that? I think it's only in a state of emergency you see the military, come in and say, okay, we're going to suspend democracy or the governor. Look, it's very obvious. The governor was aware of what happened. Coming to tell us he did not give the orders. Yes, I understand, based on the hierarchy of military and the president, and you did not give the order, Mr. Governor. But you were aware. It's very obvious. Because what I would expect you to do, if they did that behind you, was, oh, why will you do that to my people? Why will you do that in my state when there was no state of emergency? But you did not. He did not. He went mute about it. Like you said, have you called for the military to bring out those guys that did that? That is what we expect from a government. A government is supposed to be like a father, taking care of the children. I'm supposed to look up to you and say, oh, when I am in need or I have stress, I run to you. I'm in Indonesia here. If I have any problem with the Indonesian government, I run to the Nigerian embassy. They are supposed to be my parent. That is the job of government. But you did not do all that. And now you are trying to tell us to snap out. Snap out from what? Actually, the SARS was not about SARS. We all know that. It was about the Nigerian life, the well-being of the Nigerian citizen. That's what we're talking about. And telling us to snap out. Yes, you've said what you want to say. You're going to leave us to think about it if we are ready to snap out. Angela, Sandra, I'm done talking. We'll talk later.
Frank, thank you very much for calling to talk to me. 99.3. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
Yeah, this is Mary calling from Alimosho.
Talk to me, Mary.
All right. I want to react to the first story.
Okay.
People forget that Nigeria will always, or the youth itself will always remember. I listened to that interview, and when he said snap out of it, I looked at my brother. I'm like, snap out of. Look at the use of English. Number one, people are still in jail because of that thing. They've not said anything about it. People died. We watched that. We followed it. What are you saying? People's brothers were there. People who don't have brothers, who don't have family, who lived alone, who died, cannot be accounted for. Those who were taken to jail cannot be accounted. So many things happened. Even if he didn't give the order, at least as a governor, why not own up to your responsibility? He should have even resigned at the time that thing happened. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from. Okay. If you're owning up to your responsibility, people will respect, people will remember your legacy. Not that you come out now, you should snap out of it as if it was that you lost a phone or you lost money. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We're talking about human life. It could have been his brother, it could have been my brother, it could have been my sister, my classmate. What is he saying? He himself, he should snap out of it. He should not worry. He should snap out of it when the polls will decide. Thank you. God bless you. You're doing a good job.
Thank you very much for calling, Mary. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing? What's your name, sir?
Hello.
Hi. What's your name, sir?
Fine. Good.
Ike, good to have you on the show. Talk to me.
For me, I think this is not the right time for this program.
Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah. It will look as if you're partisan. Because tomorrow is the election. I know the military action was a very wrong one. But bringing NSAS at this particular time of this country, election coming up 2 days time, that's issues. Right.
But the governor himself talked about it yesterday.
I know some days ago.
No, yesterday morning on Nigeria Info, he talked about it.
I watched it.
So should we not talk about what the governor talked about on Nigeria Info yesterday morning?
Well, I think it looks hard.
So we should not talk about what the governor talked about?
A lot of people are coming decision. But that decision also brought some sanity to the system. Nobody wants military to be killing our people. But this is not the best time for this program. That's my own submission.
All right, Ike, thank you very much for calling. Ike says, even though the governor himself talked about it yesterday morning on Morning Crossfire, this is not the right time to talk about it. 99.3, hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
Anyway, Sandra, can we listen to this? Hello.
Listen to what?
Lagosians. To this.
Oh. Okay.
Hello, Lagosians. I am so sorry about what happened yesterday. I didn't order. I didn't give any instruction. I didn't put off the light. But whatever it is, I am the chief executive, the chief security officer. I take responsibility. I am sorry. Sorry has not come out from that mouth. I am sorry. It's not difficult to say. You understand? Sandra, he wouldn't have been addressing this if what happened on the 25th did not happen. He wouldn't have been addressing this. It's very wrong. Lives were lost. And all this, on the rise, the one you played the other time, when he said PDP brought in Agberos in Lagos. You heard that?
Yes.
Why must he be lying to us? It's not fair now. We're not fools. Do you understand?
Okay.
It just goes to, if maybe it was a setup against him on that day, go and say this, go and do this, go and do this. I keep saying that maybe he wouldn't even have gotten the ticket if Oga's place was not full with his own problem. So he should understand it. He shouldn't just neglect it. It's very wrong. About the states, maybe another government in one state and the other one in another state. PWD was in Anambra. He was working. The center never interrupted him. He was getting his subventions as and when due. So it depends on you. And then the issue of giving tax collection to a particular, this guy really, he addressed it head on. The guy from Labour Party. You understand?
Right.
When he said he talked to Agberos and told them, asked them, can you work in a factory? Can't you make sure they said his words were, it was like scales fell out from their eyes. I don't know whether you heard it.
Okay, I haven't.
Yes. So he addressed the issue of having the billboard being paid into one man's pocket. And then at every junction, one man is collected. Do you know that the monies that are being collected from these KK, buses and all these people, if it goes into the government coffers, do you know how many buses for workers, for students that they'll be churning out every 3 months? But it's going into somebody's pocket. And this boy is addressing it. He's able to mention Alpha Beta, whatever, the one that is collecting taxes and collecting that, and mentioning how much and what he will do when he gets the money into the government for coffers. These are the things I hope I didn't hear him. He was not asked, the governor, but he should have been asked so that we know whether he's coming in, to change what he never did. But everything he's talking about, he should please just cool down.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. I should mention that when the governor was talking about thugs and PDP, he was talking about it in connection with the debate that he missed. He said the reason he didn't go for the debate was because he didn't want to share a stage with people who had thugs in a bus branded by the PDP, something along those lines. All right, let's go to WhatsApp and take a look at messages we've got there. Akeem from Ikbaja says, I want the Labour Party candidate. If the incumbent governor continues, Lagos State will see hell in the hand of Agbero. They will become tin gods because they control the center and the state. Who would you report to? Okay. We've got this one here from Pius in Ikeja. Pius says, the governor interviewed all those days with Mr. Sheriff. The governor's interview with Mr. Sheriff indicated that democracy is a government of the politician, for the politician, by the politician, and to the politician. He talked about his experience. I think if he were given opportunity, any other person that is given the opportunity can do better. Immensely, he says, Lekki Tollgate Massacre has given us lessons to be strong. This is understatement because if any of the governor's family members or biological children were among those, he wouldn't have been so bold to utter those words. All I know is that other countries experience this type of regime more harder than Nigeria, but divine intervention will take place one day. All right, Pius. I think because you wrote that in a hurry, you made a few errors, so it was a bit difficult for me to follow. We've got Lucky Silas who says, Mr. Funsho Doherty is absolutely right about the Agberocracy in Lagos, like GRV rightly defined the Lagos situation. He's also right on how the state and federal government should relate, because Nigeria is a federal country, hence there should be a level of autonomy for every tier of government. Personally, I believe that GRV is the best man for the job, and the least suitable option is the incumbent governor. Lies don't last forever, because time will always tell the truth, and liars will lose their license. All right, Lucky Silas, thank you for your message. We'll take a break. When we come back from this break, let's talk about the Oro Festival and the Obas saying you have nothing to worry about.
The biggest and most consistent comedy show in Africa is here again. Come witness the electrifying creativity from the legends in the game. It's AY Live Legendary Edition on Easter Sunday, April 9th, featuring Alibaba, Gandoki, Igodai, Gordons, Funny Bone, Akboro, Acapella, Testoka, Real Worry Pekin, Arinze Baba, Ajebo, Mr. Paul, Ogwefi, hosted by the most followed comedian in Africa, AY. Musical performances by legendary and rave-making Nigerian musical artists at home and abroad. AY Live will be a town hall of 3 different generations of comedic experience. Echo Convention Center, Victoria Island, Lagos. The show starts 7 p.m. Ticket, regular 6,000 Naira, VIP 30,000 Naira, Go Table 2.5 million Naira, Premium Table 5 million Naira. Ticket outlets, all Ebano supermarkets, Film House Cinemas, all Tasty Fried Chicken outlets. Call 0704-921-5448. Powered by Coleman Wires, Revolution Plus Properties, New Age, packaged by Lanre Maku Events, media partners, Cool Wazobia Info.
Sincerely, I don't want to wait till I graduate from this school before I think of what to do with my life.
Exactly. I am going to seriously work on my music skills. Let me use my talent well, I beg.
I would like to be a radio presenter, but I don't know how to go about it.
But why is Timmy so quiet today?
Sorry, ladies. I'm taking this interesting course on how to become a professional scriptwriter. You too can also learn how to become a radio presenter on Wazobia Academy.
Wazobia Academy?
Yes, Wazobia Academy provides accessible and affordable online training in filmmaking, music business, fashion, radio hosting, and lots more. You also stand a chance to be selected for internship in leading production companies, radio stations, music, and fashion studios for hands-on experience. It's easy. Simply log on to www.wazobiaacademy.com or call 0908-826-5038 for more details.
Wazobia Academy. Learn and lead.
From just another state in the world's most populous black nation, through resilience of our spirit, a greater Lagos is rising.
Through the boldness of our visions, our blue and red rail systems are coming. We are Lagosians, we are strong.
Together we will re-elect. Come on, Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu as our governor. With him, no force can stop us. No one can deny that we are rising to the top. Our greater Lagos is rising, rising, rising.
Re-elect Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu as governor and Obafemi Kadiri Hamzat as deputy governor, Lagos State.
Greater Lagos rising. APC progress.
Who is the greatest I beg to differ debater? We've had 4 tournaments and crowned 4 champions.
My name is Samita Kaushik. My name is Ruth Okorocha. My name is Dawaji Esther. My name is Phoebe Achibdu.
We've had 4 runners-up who gave them a run for the 1 million naira.
My name is Nadi Emanuela Amarachi. I'm Deborah Pamzad.
My name is Hamid Olarojan.
My name is Stephanie Ame.
We've had other great debaters who wowed Lagos.
My name is Obuna Uchagozi.
I'm Adadbo Ramadan Alai.
I am Musa Nicola. My name is Olari Tolwala Sheikh.
So to crown the best of the best,
Well, I believe the group of them should be the group A.
You think so?
Yeah, the group A.
and answer all your who would beat who questions,
Nah, this is group A. People there, they're already on the house seat.
we're bringing them all back. One winner, 2 million naira. It's the I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions. From Monday, March 20th to Monday, April 24th, the 12 best secondary school debaters from all 4 editions will battle for all the bragging rights. Airing weekdays at 4, join me, Sandra Ezekwesili, your moderator on 99.3 Nigeria Info FM, and later on Wazobia Max TV. This tournament is brought to you by Paystack, supported by Wazobia Max TV, RLG Communications, and obiwizi.com. For sponsorship opportunities, send an email to ibegtodiffer@nigeriainfo.fm.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. We'll talk about the Oro Festival in a bit. We've got business news coming your way at 4 o'clock. We have so many messages to get through on WhatsApp. I know you want to call as well and talk about our Festu stories from the show today at 3. Not to worry, we'll have all of those conversations right here on your number one station for talk. At 5 o'clock, we'll also talk properly about the Guba elections coming up on Saturday. What are the important issues for you as you go in to vote on Saturday? What are the important issues in the states where you are interested in that race as they go in to vote on Saturday as well? 5 p.m. we'll have that conversation. At 7, we'll have GRV on Twitter, but we'll air it on Nigeria Info. So you want to listen to GRV talk about why he wants to be governor of Lagos, 7 p.m. That interview will be live right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
It's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, says that the 2023 Population and Housing Census, earlier scheduled for the 29th of March, has been shifted to May 20. The minister explained that the decision was necessitated by the rescheduling of the governorship elections from the 11th of March to the 18th. Let's inform you also that a total of 2.8 billion naira has been approved by the Federal Executive Council for the procurement of software that will be used to conduct the May 2023 national census. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Communications Commission says the country's telecommunication networks can absorb the surge in the demand for cashless transactions. This clarification is coming on the heels of failing electronic transactions recorded since late 2022. The NCC Executive Vice Chairman, Professor Umar Dambata, explained that the launch of 5G in the country would increase the deployment of telecom infrastructure and trigger a high demand for data services. The Federal Executive Council has approved the Nigeria Agenda 2050, a plan aimed at increasing real GDP growth by 7%. The Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clem Agba, said the plan would create 165 million naira worth of new jobs and reduce the number of people living in poverty to 2.1 million in 2050. The minister says that the overall objective is to take Nigeria through to an upper middle income country and subsequently to the status of a high income country by 2050.
It's a model that is used for long-term planning. Unlike when we did the medium-term plans, we were using the input-output models, the econometric models. But those are things you use for short or medium term. The 2050 agenda highlights the roadmap for accelerated, sustained, and broad-based growth, and also provides broad frameworks and approaches for reducing unemployment, poverty, inequality, and human deprivation.
This is coming about 29 months after President Buhari inaugurated the National Steering Committee for the preparation of the Medium-Term National Development Plan 2021 to 2025 and Nigeria Agenda 2050. And the naira appreciated against the dollar on Wednesday, exchanging at 461 naira 09 kobo at the investors and exporters window. The rate represented an increase of 0.07% compared to the 461 naira 42 kobo it exchanged to the dollar on Tuesday. A total of $142.25 million was traded at the official investors and exporters window. And that's it in business. It's back to Hard Facts with Sandra. I'm Yvonne Ohaifo. You're listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info. Sandra?
Thank you, Yvonne, for bringing us business news. Lagos, I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. And you can talk to me now about our stories from today's Big Three. We brought you one of the things the governor said on the Morning Crossfire with Sheriff Quadri yesterday, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info, we brought you what Funsho Doherty said about aligning with the center or being independent from the center when we interviewed him right here on Hard Facts 2 nights ago. Now, we have the Guba candidate of LP, the Labour Party, saying that he doesn't believe the Oro Festival will affect Saturday's elections. That's our third story on today's Big Three.
Good morning, Lagos. It's important that I address you because some rumors have been circulating that certain traditional rulers, Bale of Ijegun, Legoshi, are declaring Oro Festival that's supposed to start today and go all the way into Saturday. Traditional rulers know better than doing any festival that will in any way disenfranchise any voters. Carry on our activities. We have barely 3 days to go. Interact, network, ensure that we get the maximum voter turnout in these local governments, and be rest assured that we are going to come out in force to ensure that we resist any form of intimidation or harassment on Saturday, and our votes are going to count because we are going to follow through and make sure it counts. Thank you. God bless.
All right, so he says, everyone be rest assured that they can come out without fear. He's gotten assurances from the traditional authorities. That's a message to all voters, regardless of who you want to vote for. So that's that. We've also gotten that message, that clarification from the Oba of Elegushi himself. And a few other Obas who have said to us that, look, this is just something we do. This is a tradition for us here, and we're just doing it, and it's going to end Friday at midnight. You have nothing to worry about. So if you've heard rumors telling you otherwise, disregard those rumors. But yes, back to our stories from today's Big Three. 070-993-993-993. 01465-7190. Hello, thank you for calling us.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
How you doing?
Yeah, fine. I'm Mecca speaking from Accra.
Talk to me.
Sandra, I have a question.
Okay.
This Oro Festival, is it this weekend, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Thursday, Friday, Sunday, that you used to do it?
Yes.
Is it on these 3 days? If that is every year, these are the days they used to do it.
Every year? I don't know. I don't know about that, to be honest.
If it's a yearly activity, festival, or monthly festival or something, I mean, did it fall on these 3 days? That is where we will start to think. Or they just, or it can be done any days, depending on the decision of the cabinet and the Oba or whatever.
I honestly don't have the answer to that. I'm hoping that people...
That is where the questions will arise from. Before we will not say they did fine or they did not do fine. Or maybe they are doing it because of their hidden agenda. That is what we should ask.
But they've said it will not affect election. It will not affect Saturday. It will end Friday at midnight.
Sandra, have you ever seen where they do that festival?
No, I haven't.
It will surely affect. First, voting starts from morning. If they are doing it, some people will not come out.
But they are not doing it on Saturday now. Friday is when it ends.
Somebody said in their area they did it on the daytime. You see, once if it's being done on Saturday, certain percentage of people will not come out to vote. But
the traditional rulers, Emeka, it seems like you are unable to hear what I'm saying. The traditional rulers and the political parties have said that it will not affect elections. I don't know how the festival works. I've never seen it performed. So I'm going to hope that indigenous Lagosians or Yoruba people really who know about the Oro Festival will give me a call and talk to me about it. Kende is on the line. Hi, Kende.
Hi, Sandra. Good evening.
Good to have you on the show.
Yeah. So I'll first make a point about why this guy, GRB, is the most talked about opposition.
Okay.
You can see that he's the only one giving some sense of, like, we have an opposition party in Lagos. All other parties are just quiet about this. Okay. PDP, ADC, Doherty, and co. They're not talking about it. Now, about the Oro Festival, my own issue is, there is something suspicious about it. For example, I give you an instance of one, I think it was in Ijegun that they said the Oro Festival was supposed to hold in March 11, around that time, the previous week. But the moment they postponed the election, the traditional ruler also postponed it to this next week. So when you look at these things, when you look at the science, then you can't but conclude, draw some conclusions that there are some mischievous plans towards this, because there's no how you want to paint it that festival will not in one way affect the way some people want to vote will think, because Oro Festival is a kind of festival that prevents women and non-indigenous from coming out. So when I know that I'm susceptible to such kind of this, I don't want to come. It already affects me. So I think there is some mischievous acts towards it. I don't know why all of them are coming out at the same time. Ijegun is doing his own, Igondo is doing his own, Ibejuleki is doing his own, Ekate is doing at the same time. Now so Lagos don't suffer from evil. Come on now, wow. Well, it is well. Let's see how it goes.
All right, Kende, thank you very much for calling. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Good to have you on the show.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
How are you?
I'm very well.
Yeah, I called in the morning on this issue, but let me explain more.
Okay.
You see, the fact is not going to affect election. You know, the curfew started the day before election. We see people not to move around till 4 o'clock. You know, some people have moved away from where they are living, but they have voter cards.
Okay.
They do go in the evening to the other area they registered before. This Oro will not allow them to move there. And the electoral material move around in the night. You know, it's going to affect election. There's no way. We not allow affect election. I think we need to understand ourselves and put things into consideration. The election is won, and they cannot repeat it. But the Oro Festival, I'm not against the Oro they want to do, whatever they want to, reason they want to do it for. But they must consider the people that need to vote. But if they say they wanted to do it last week, why can't they do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Why is it night election? I think it's deliberate. We need to contact Oba to come and explain the reason why, because the country is important than anything. Thank you.
All right, Mrs. Ajayi, thank you very much for calling. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Sandra.
Hi.
How you doing today?
I'm okay. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Sade.
Hi, Sade. Talk to me.
So I called because when I heard, all these conspiracy theory brewing over the Oro Festival. So to the best of my knowledge, and this is not the first time, so I'm like amazed people are really taking it to another level. First time I heard of it, I thought it happened when an Oba or something happened to an Oba, then they have to. But someone said no. But they've had Oro festivals over the time, and the only people it really affects, to the best of my knowledge, is women. Women can't come out at night. So I remember once it happened, and I had they were like, get home on time because you shouldn't be out at night if you're a female and Oro festival is about to happen. So that's what I've always known, that it's usually females shouldn't come out. And so like when I'm going from work, they're like, oh, make sure you get home at And now what happens if you are caught outside as a female? That I can't say, but it's not like it's going to affect everybody or anybody. And I do know that females are usually warned not to go out. And of course, anytime it happens, I'm like, why are we still having this kind of thing happening in Lagos? But they say it's a tradition. So people should not please look at it as it's a political stunt or whatever. We should find out how often it happens and the reasons behind it. But Oro Festival has always happened, and this is not the first time that I'm hearing about it. This is the first time I'm hearing about it happening, like in a lot of different places.
At the same time,
I heard like it's happening in Ojuju, it's happening in Legoshi, but it's things that happen in I guess Lagos normally, and usually it's females that are affected. Women shouldn't be out because they say Oro cannot see females. That's what I've always heard. So that's my submission.
All right, thank you very much. We've got Tony from Birmingham, Alabama, who says, I support the last caller. Can the Oba and his cabinet prove to Lagosians that the calendar of the Oro Festival falls on this date every year in order to clear the air and the mind of Lagosians, and in particular Nigerians in general? Tony from Birmingham, Alabama. Thank you for your message. We've got Andy from Lekki, who says, the thing is, no matter the assurance our leaders give us, we cannot trust their motives because they failed their words several times. They cannot be trusted. Okay. Isaac from Aboru says, please, Sunday is the Oro Festival bigger than Nigeria's election? Okay. We've got Kazim in Ejigbo, who says, I just want to encourage people not to be intimidated no matter what. They should go out and cast their ballot. There are no such ethnic sentiments flying. There are so much ethnic sentiments flying around on social media. These things are intentionally propagated by politicians. Unfortunately, some people are falling for it. Please, my people, let's go out en masse and vote for a better governance. There's power in numbers, as Sandra has been advising us. Oh, I like when you quote me. Kazim, thank you for your message. We've got this message here. Sandra, it will affect elections. Election materials are moved at night. Election materials are not moved at night, though. Are they? Because they're already moving at the moment, So I don't know where people are getting that information that election materials move at night. We've got this one here. From Mr. C. Mr. C says, Sandra, last week Thursday, we were informed that there will be Oro sacrifice, so no movement from 4 p.m. on Friday to Saturday. So the evening INEC shifted the election date. We were then informed that the Oro sacrifice has been shifted to this week Friday by 4 p.m. This arrangement is calculated to prevent so many of us from not getting to our polling units, since many of us will be stuck in our working places. Oro, or traditional authority, is not higher than the federal government. This push by Lagos and Ogun Traditional Authority is a recipe for disaster. The Oro date is fixed by the oracle, as they claim. This is to prevent us from coming out to vote. Did the Oro not see well? March 11, and when the election date was moved, the date was moved as well. In my area in Igondo, they're already threatening us. Mr. C with that allegation on WhatsApp. Okay. Some festivals tend to fall on the same day because our traditional you have so our non-traditional festivals. You have some festivals like Christmas, for instance, or International Women's Day, or what else? Even Easter doesn't even fall on the same day every year. But some festivals tend not to fall on the same day because our traditional calendars are not the same as the Gregorian calendar, the Oyibo man's calendar of 365 days. You get? So it depends, So again, this is not something I have authority to speak on, so I'm just going to let you, who are the indigenes of Lagos or Yoruba people or practitioners of Oro Festival, to teach me about it. But back to this point about the election materials. If materials are already at the INEC ward office, then they won't move at night. If the materials are still at local government offices, they will have to be moved to ward offices, tomorrow at some point, maybe at night. But in either event, the materials move from the ward to the polling unit on election morning. So if they can't move it at night, they will still have to move it to the polling unit on election morning, And again, this thing ends at 5, It ends at 5 a.m. They say 12 a.m. to 5 a.m., But talk to me. Let me come back to you. Talk to me. 99.3. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Sandra.
How you doing? What's your name?
Fine. I'm Grandma Lara from Ikorodu.
Grandma Lara, talk to me.
Yeah. I live in Ikorodu, and Ikorodu is basically a traditional
community.
setting.
Okay.
We who live here, we know when their Oro is.
Okay.
They have one in May. They have one in, I think, like 2 in June.
Okay.
It used to be 3 days at a stretch before.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it used to be 7 days way back.
Okay.
Until it turns to 3 days. Civilization is now been staggered into 3 days.
Okay.
Now, if the festival is ending Friday, all rituals would end latest by 3 a.m.
Okay.
So nobody has any. No, they don't. No one needs to fear.
Okay.
Yes, women are not allowed to come out, but it's not during the day. Everything they are doing will be during the day.
Okay.
And any cleansing or whatever else is left is done between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m.
Okay.
After 5 a.m., I think anybody can go out.
Okay.
And from what I heard, if it is holding at Ijegun and it is holding at one place and it is holding at another place, then that means there's a timetable for it. Well, I don't know. I'm not speaking for them, but I don't think it is politically inclined. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling, Grandma Lara. She's in Ikorodu, has been there her whole life, so I'm tempted to believe her when she says we have nothing to worry about. 99.3. Hello.
Hello, Sandra.
How you doing? What's your name, sir?
I'm fine. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
John from Lekki.
Talk to me, John.
Yeah, you see, this issue of Oro of 18, I don't know if people have really done investigation about it. Because I remember in those days I was living at Aja. They will come out and make an announcement with the town crier that if your goat lost, you should look for it. If your cow lost or your fowl, you should look for it. But if human being lost, you should not bother to look for it because they are doing their Oro. And now they are saying election comes up, they feast Oro. They have agenda, you know.
Okay, so this is something you heard by yourself, John? This is not a boogeyman's tale? Because, you know, with traditional things and traditional rites, we tell a lot of boogeyman stories. 99.3, hello.
Sandra, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Oladele for this call, eh?
Talk to me, Oladele.
So, I just have questions. Like you, I'm also seeking answers.
Okay.
Say I am, hypothetically speaking, I'm an expert whom have brought my capital here.
Okay.
And I live in this axis.
Okay.
And I have my night planned out, whatever.
Okay.
I want to come in at 1 a.m.
Uh-huh.
And I hear this. I begin to wonder. And this seriously, people question, you know, because a lot of people do not understand. So who issues curfew? Which office has the statutory right to issue curfew orders in a state, in a country, in 2023? That's number one. Then I'm an expert. Maybe I don't even have access to news at all, and you say, okay,
you just flew into the country, you know. You just flew into the country.
Sorry.
So yes, you're an Oyibo person who just flew into the country, and you have no information whatsoever.
Yeah. And then I stumble upon this, you know. So the begging question is, which authority has, which agency has that authority to issue a curfew? And like the last caller said, I you know, like you say as well, you're looking for answers. We're all looking for answers.
Right.
And if it comes to the place where we're talking about this, and it just doesn't make sense to someone who is not a Nigerian but happens to be living in that area.
Right.
What advice do we have for them? How do we make sense of all of this? Thank you.
Oladele, thank you very much for calling. Oladele says, I'm a foreigner, I'm an expatriate, and I just flew into the country, and I flew in at 1 a.m. You know, what's my fate? That's a very good question. It's a question I don't have an answer to because, again, I'm not an expert on Oro Festival. I'm listening to you, and I'm depending on you to let me know what's expected here, what happens here. Who do you need to hear from? Is it the Oba? Is it INEC? Is it government? You know, who do you need to talk to you here so that you feel like, okay, well, this Oro Festival doesn't affect any part of the elections? 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra.
How you doing? What's your name, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm fine. This is Ijema calling.
Good to have you on the show. Talk to me.
Yeah. Sandra, this Oro you're talking about, I was at Ijeododo around the Jegu area. That should be 2 days ago.
Okay.
We're driving towards that Ijeododo around 12 in the afternoon.
Okay.
We're stopped and they were like, there was Oro. Actually, this Oro, they was supposed to come before the election that was postponed.
Okay.
So we're there by 12 and they were like, there was Oro that we had to go back around 12 in the afternoon. That the Oro starts 12 in the afternoon to end 3 p.m. I mean, who does that? How can Oro, when I was growing up, because I was practically born in Lagos here, so I've been living here in Lagos, I got married here in Lagos, so I've known of this Oro, so I know that Oro is always at night. But I was just very surprised when in the afternoon, they were like, there was Oro around 12 in the afternoon, that we should go back, that it will end by 3 p.m.
Tell me again,
who does that?
Where was this?
Election
where was
held
this?
that last week Saturday. What would we have done?
So where was this?
Again,
Where did this happen?
Communities are setting up Oro. I don't know. Is this politically motivated or what? I don't just understand it.
Okay.
So we have to check it out and see. They were like, women are not supposed to see the Oro, and non-indigenous are not supposed to see the Oro. That is a taboo. I don't understand. So we have to know what to do about it. How can you fix Oro in the afternoon? Oro is supposed to be in the night, not afternoon.
Tell me again.
So I don't know.
Tell
so
me.
They have to check it out.
Can you tell me again?
Thank you very much.
Okay, I don't think she's hearing me because I didn't catch when she mentioned where exactly that happened. Did you say Jedodo? I'm not very sure. I didn't quite catch it when she said it. We have a break coming up. We have to take it. When we come back from this break, it's a long one. Please bear with me. Bear with us. It's a long one. But when we come back from it, Lagos, let's keep talking about this thing. If you understand the Oro Festival, talk to us about it. We have the Obas and the politicians saying to us, oh, this will not affect the elections. However, some of you are saying that it could affect the elections. And we have this final caller saying that in her own area, they said, oh, we're doing Oro, and they started Oro at 12 in the afternoon. So I have a bunch of questions, and I guess we all have questions, like Oladili called in to say.
Moves must be made. My people just to work hard. Dreams and challenges motivate us. But sometimes, when the journey gets tiring, all we need is something to push our limits.
Reactor, ignite your energy, bring out your inner champion. Reactor, ignite your energy, bring out your inner champion.
Reactor Energy Drink. What you need to push your limits.
Wahala, Reactor Energy Drink. No dey tire. No way, Reactor Energy Drink. Reactor.
Push your limits.